Jack, another one of those original guys that have been playing forever. Always pushing himself, always pushing each other. You know, he and Mio actually had to stop guarding each other in practices because I could tell they'd go so hard at each other in practice, and I imagine that the rides home probably weren't too fun. So they'd often not guard each other in practice. I saw it happen. I was like, cool, whatever. I usually put them on separate teams, but then sometimes I'll put them together. But you know, Jack was just, he had that it factor. Super competitive, super driven. Became a really good thrower. Became our main thrower. I mean, we never kept stats, but I would guess that of our, you know, long throws over 40 or 50 yards, Jack had to have at least 3/4 of them. You know, goals thrown a ton. Great defender, had a couple key blocks in the States for sure. Kind of do it all. You know, I was always trying to encourage him to go downfield and catch it more. But he trusts himself with the disc more than he trusts anybody else. So he always wanted to be around the disc, and teammates were more than happy to give it to him. You know, it felt like, oh, where's Jack? There he is. Boom. I'm going to go run downfield. You know, because they just had that kind of confidence in him, and he had that kind of confidence in himself. Huge competitor. Obviously one of the best players in the state, and I wish we could have got on a national stage a little bit more and see how he compares with some of the top players at a lot of the other top programs, because you know, I think there's definitely some people on this team that can compete, which we saw from that Seattle team and from that Utah team. I think we got that Utah team's best shot. I think we would have played them later in the tournament. We may not have seen what we saw out of them, but that game was totally winnable anyway, and we sort of let that slip through our fingers. But that Seattle team, that Garfield high school team is good. That program, I mean, I don't know about this class, if they're as good as some of the other classes, but that's one of the top programs in the nation. They go to nationals every year, and they do really well, win it several times, and you know, we're able to battle with those guys. So it's really cool to be on that level and to see Jack, you know, take it to those guys. Even those guys couldn't match up with them. So, you know, it's been awesome running with you. Glad we got to finish on top. Last but not least, Mio, come on up here. Alright, so Mio, again, I won't repeat myself, but he was one of the original guys who's been playing this whole time. Even though I'm sure he's probably been recruited by the football team and the rugby team and lacrosse team. I think he actually did water polo one time. So I'm sure there's other sports that have wanted you out there, but your heart was an ultimate, which I'm super happy about because it played a big role for us. You know, receiving, throwing, playing great defense, anchoring our zone as a short deep. Super competitive, like to the point where sometimes he was a little too hard on his teammates, you know, and I think it would have been hard to swallow, I think, as a teammate if you felt like he wasn't that hard on himself, but he was, which makes it tolerable that, you know, if he messes up, he's as mad at himself as he is at his teammates for messing up. And, you know, I think big reason why we got as good as we were is he was always pushing it. You know, he didn't take practices off. You know, we were out in the middle of the winter and it was snowing on those turf fields, and you know, Mio's yelling at his teammates because, you know, he dropped one or he wasn't cutting hard enough or whatever it happened to be, wasn't playing good enough defense. You know, that's what it takes for a team to be as good as we got, was you need someone driving it. You can't just be me, it has to be, you know, the leaders on the team, and that was Mio the whole way. You know, what can I say? Just awesome player. It's been a great run. Congratulations.